so often two separate variables that will be very highly correlated. If we use both variables in our model, there is overlapping information. And so the actual effect of one or the other on the outcome variable will be very unclear. So we don't want these highly correlated variables. Sometimes there are correlated variables. There might be an element of correlation, especially when there is confounding. And you do want to include confounding variables in your model so that they can be controlled for. So that is why, there's an art and a science to this. We really need to kind of think about the data, look at the study design, understand your variables, understand the nature of their theoretical relationship with each other and with the outcome variable as you make decisions about what to include and what not to include. Right. In this particular data set, this is what we did. We created this little matrix over here, and there's the code. I'm not going to go through this code in detail right now because it's not really the point of the lesson, but you've got access to it and all of the little annotations. So, get that if you would like to. But by creating this little matrix here, I can look at each variable and the correlation coefficient for all the other variables. And it's a bit of a heat map as well. The dark blue is a perfect correlation, and that's always where the variable is mapped out against itself. Clearly, there's nothing in this matrix with a correlation coefficient of more than 0.7 or above. So we're not worried about any of these relationships. Here I've got the same sort of thing, and this is just color-coded with a scale on the side. I prefer the numbers because here I can look at the numbers and say definitively none of these are anything that I would be worried about. Now, the other thing I would just tell you about about the correlation and collinearity is this. This is a good start. So looking at the correlation coefficient between pairs of variables is a good indication that there's nothing too serious to worry about. Once we've built the entire model, there is always a chance that over and above just pairs of variables, but multiple variables get entangled in a way that's very difficult to see in terms of multicollinearity. And when we look at checking the assumptions, there is a statistical test that you can do to make sure that against a range of predictor values, that collinearity is not, or multicollinearity is not a problem. We're not going to talk about that in this video. That's going to be in the video that is to come on checking your assumptions. But my point is that even once you've done this check, it might look like everything's fine, double thumbs up, way to go. In fact, a problem may still emerge when you do the checking for assumptions when the model is created. So, kind of watch this space. This